All right, guys, let's talk about fractals and gold. And this is probably my 8th attempt at making this video. And the reason I'm doing it so many times is because I want to convey the concept properly and eloquently to you so that it really hits home. Inside all charts and across all periods and time frames that we look at for candlestick charts, you'll find patterns. And these patterns are going to be more or less the same across all these time frames. We've talked a lot about equilibriums. We talked about a lot of triangles. You can have a 2-minute EQ. I can have a 15-minute EQ, a daily EQ, and by and large, these are all going to look very similar. A market technician, without knowledge of what time period he's looking at, you can show him a multitude, or her, a multitude of charts with the same pattern, and they will not be able to tell you which one's daily, which one's 2-minute, which one's 5-minute. That's because patterns are fractal. They can be applied to any time frame, and they can exist inside each other. You can have an hourly EQ inside a daily EQ, which is inside a monthly EQ. It's all this perfect balance of harmony and price action and discovery, and it's really cool. But the reason I'm pointing it out here is because I cleared my charts on gold. I took a quick look at this without really knowing what it was. I just loaded TradingView. Here we are looking at gold, and I said, oh cool, what's this? It's a daily EQ. Not really knowing that it was the gold chart with a slightly different layout. So I missed out on this beautiful potential EQ, and I'm going to mark it out here for you now. 1324, 1280. So here is our 4 points of contact: 1346, 1280, 1324, 1280 again. Now I want to raise 2 points. One, could this not be a descending triangle? Yes, it could. We don't know for sure what we're dealing with until it's over. So let's mark in what we would have for a trend line of resistance for our descending triangle. So here's our trend line down. Here's our double bottom, or area of double bottom here, and potential descending triangle. Now, what I'm going to look for here is to see how we react to that trend line, confirming or disproving that it is indeed a descending triangle, and looking for a continuation of this potential daily EQ. The second point I want to drive home is that when you're dealing with an equilibrium, the range between your highs and your lows is important. In this case, we dropped from 1346 to 1280. Bulls had an opportunity to stop that bearish rally, start their own bullish push, and they did so, bringing the price all the way up to 1324. So not a bad little run. Now, when the bears answered back and the bulls got tired, they slammed the price down all the way to 1280, hitting that near double bottom support. So what that tells us is that the bears have a lot more control and power right now than the bulls do. If the bulls were able to push the price up a lot closer, or at least have this equilibrium setup more equal, and what I mean by that is, let's go draw that in. It'll make more sense visually. If there is a perfect balance of power, your equilibrium is going to use all of the real estate available to it between the support and the resistance lines. That is a perfect balance between bullish power and bearish power. And that is what that perfect EQ looks like. In this case, we don't have that. We can see clearly that the bulls are weak with respect to the strength of the bears. They don't have the ability to push up as strongly as the bears have the ability to push down. So we need to really be cognizant of what's happening between the bulls and the bears right now, and looking for a continuation of that strength or lack of strength for the bulls. So that's my spiel on fractals. That's my perspective of what's happening on the daily time frame right now. And I think we're going to see a continuation of this. Side note, descending triangles don't really have a direction. We can break out just as easily to the upside as we can to the downside. Let's pay special attention to the possibility that we are indeed in a descending triangle. Look for resistance and see how we interact on the daily time frame, or even the sub time frames as we get up to this level. My voice is going. All right, now let's take a look at what's happening on the 4-hour time frame, because this is going to be more helpful for us in the short term. So here's that big rejection from 1303. Then yesterday I had mentioned that I was looking for a more substantial drop, a nicer higher low on the 4-hour time frame that would have us in the area of like 1292, allowing us to build a better base of support, and we didn't get that. Instead, the 4-hour bulls took over, pushing the price up, and we got our high at 1306. Right now, pulling back on the 4-hour time frame, and we are looking for support at 1326. So it's possible that the bulls have changed us into a nice 4-hour uptrend, and we're going to find support at 1326, possibly coming up to set a higher high, and slowly march toward that potential descending triangle area of resistance. So all signs strong for the 4-hour bulls, no slowing them down, no red flags right now. Our 4-hour higher low is currently sitting at 1296.35. So anything above that before a bull turnaround is a nice continuation for the 4-hour bulls, and nothing to be afraid of. Bears want to break 1296.35 to the downside, and after that there's no real support until we get back down to this beautiful area, 1280 support. Hourly time frame looks a little bit different. So let's go ahead and clear that out. And on the hourly time frame, I'm starting to see a little bit of tightening range. I don't see that the bulls are advancing as nearly as quickly as the bears are. So what I do in this case is I start to draw patterns. I take a look at what's going on. Tops of my greens, bottoms of my reds. Try and find something that's nice, fits the story a little bit, and see how that goes. Okay, so here we are. We have our hourly time frame. A couple points of resistance. Yeah, we see some sort of zone of resistance at that level. And for our supporting line, yes, we have 1, 2, 3 confirmed touches. Currently grinding that level, which matches up nicely to the EMA 26 on the hourly time frame. So what's going to happen? Well, if you've been paying attention to this channel, you know that I don't really like to say what's going to happen, what's likely to happen, or provide a couple of scenarios. So should we lose our EMA 26 support, that will take us outside the range of this bearish reversal pattern. So this is a generally bearish pattern where you would see the price come down. Our next area of support, we can see multiple touches of support right here at 1296. So we can go and draw in our supporting line there. Should we lose this, this will be a confirmation of our bearish reversal pattern, our change from this hourly uptrend into a downtrend. And then next support doesn't really exist down to 1284 and then 1280. On the 4-hour time frame, that would also have us testing and possibly losing that 4-hour higher low, which would be pretty bearish overall, taking us down to the 1280. So on the hourly time frame and all these other time frames, what I'm seeing here is major area of resistance on the daily, hourly reversal pattern, key hourly and 4-hour support, and not a lot underneath that before we come back down and test 1280. Should we break 1280 support on the daily time frame, we have no support until we get down to, wow, a little bit here, 1264 and then 1233. So 2 major levels for us to be watching. This video has gone way too long. I hope it was useful for you, and please do pay attention to those fractals and how those different time frames play together. It's very important.